Hi, I'm Dennis Weese. I work for Eagle Communications, but I'm here today to talk about a totally different organization and some different people. We're here to talk with the home health and hospice folks, Carol Whitehair, Debbie Bielefeld, and they're here to talk about the Ed Kuntz Memorial Golf Tournament, which I have learned a lot about before the camera came on. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Carol, give us a little bit about home health and hospice. Let's tell people who Abilene Home Health and Hospice is.
Well, we started out in 1982 as a home health organization through the hospital, and originally started out with just 4 or 5 people and just went out and did home visits, became Medicare certified, which is a big paperwork undertaking.
I'm sure.
And continued to grow. And then in about 1990 or so, they decided that hospice was going to be able to fall under Medicare and be reimbursed. So there was a wonderful organization here in Abilene, which was called Abilene Area Hospice, Inc.
Okay.
And it was a total volunteer organization that took care of the hospice patients in this area. Without going into a lot of detail, it was the brainchild of a group of people that from the Methodist Church.
Okay.
They had Kay Pogue, who was, if you know anything about hospice in Salina, was the Kay Pogue Hospice House. She was a nurse that I worked with in Salina many years ago. And she came over to do a talk for the Methodist Church, and what turned into a small talk turned into like 110, 120 people showed up, and they decided Abilene needed their own hospice.
Things like that happen when somebody believes in a cause. A small meeting goes to 110 people when somebody else believes. I have learned running this chair in front of that camera, there's a bunch of different people who watch, and somebody, believe it or not, will be saying, "What's hospice?"
Oh, I thought you were going to say somebody was going to say, "I was at that meeting."
Well, they could have been. Probably 5 of them were.
Yeah.
But what is hospice? Everybody knows what home health is. What's hospice?
Hospice, it's to make what time you have left is pain-free, symptom-free, quality time to spend that time with your family, your friends, and we're there to support the patient and the family. And we do that through many different ways. But that's the whole thing, is, it doesn't take a lot to meet criteria to be on hospice. The main thing is comfort, not cure. Mm-hmm. We're there to take care of all the symptoms. We're not there to do a lot of tests. We don't care what the MRI shows anymore. We're going to treat the nausea that it's being caused, or the pain that something is causing. It doesn't really matter what the underlying cause is, because we're going to treat the symptom. If your disease process was going to follow its usual course, we wouldn't be surprised that you're not here in 6 months. Doesn't mean you have to be gone. Right. But that's another criteria. You have to have a doctor's order, which obviously, and then 4th, you have to have someone to take care of you. Hospice comes and goes. And there's a lot of us, but we can't move in with you. Right. So there has to be a go-to person that can be there on, the 24/7 while we come and go and help them and support them, and are their go-to person as to what to do. Okay. So who wants to talk about staff and how big a service area you cover? Is that you, Debbie?
No.
No. Well, has to be one of you.
Okay.
I can't.
I got that.
Yeah. I do the volunteers. That's my yes. So when you get to volunteers, then I'll be ready to talk.
Let me go back to how we got hospice as part of the hospital. So back when they decided that hospice was going to become a Medicare entitlement, Abilene Area Hospice was, like I said, a 501c3 volunteer organization. One of those requirements was it had to go in with an agency that had a Medicare certification, which Home Health of Dickinson County was Medicare certified and licensed. Okay. So then Hospice of Dickinson County was born and came to Memorial Hospital and asked if they could be under their umbrella. So Home Health and Hospice of Dickinson County basically was born or happened, or I don't know what the word is, conglomerated all there right about 1993 and became a Medicare certified hospice in 1994.
Okay, because Debbie said one word and I know what it was. She said volunteers. So tell us about the volunteers,
All
Debbie.
right. Well, my title is volunteer coordinator.
There we go.
That's what I do. And part of the hospice team involves nurses, aides. You know, Carol is the director. We have Dr. Short as our medical director, but
Right.
the big part is our volunteer pool. And Dickinson County Hospice stays in Dickinson County. We don't go outside of county lines. And here in Abilene, I have 65 volunteers that
Wow.
men and women that have been trained. They have to do a minimum of 4 to 6 hours of training with me in order to be qualified to be a hospice volunteer. We have a smaller pool in Harrington, which we have a satellite office in Harrington, Kansas, to serve that part of the county, and I have about 10 volunteers over there. So anybody that would like to get their feet wet and be a hospice volunteer, all they have to do is call me, and twice a year I have training for those people. And there's a lot of people that say, I could never do that, and I say, yes, you can.
Well, you must do it well. We all live and go through the cycles of life and watch people pass away. So I've had the opportunity to go through that with someone who's taken advantage of your care here in hospice and had nothing to say. The husband had nothing to say but great, great things about Dickinson County Home Health and Hospice.
Good.
As a caring organization that was doing important work in our community. So, okay, that's who we're talking to. But that's not what we're talking about really today. We're talking about a golf tournament. How's that come together?
That's back to me.
Okay.
Part of what I do also is fundraising. We do one fundraiser per year, and that is the Ed Kuntz Memorial Golf Tournament. We also have memorials that are left to us, and what that money does is it allows us to continue with free care. Once you go on to hospice, another dime is never paid for your care, because graciously our memorials and our golf tournament takes care of that. And so every year, and this year it's June 17th, it's always on Father's Day weekend. We've left it that way because the Kuntz family would like it to be in honor of Ed on Father's Day. It's always Father's Day weekend. And we are out at the Old Country Club, Great Life Golf and Fitness. It's a 9-hole course, but we do 18 holes. It's a fun-filled day. I feel like it's fun. This will be my 5th golf tournament that I've done since I've been with hospice, and I'm a golfer, and I golfed many years at the tournament before I ran it. And we do a lot of fun things. It's a 4-man scramble. Allow men and women's teams. We have 16 teams that we can allow because we like to keep things moving. The Kuntz family furnishes lunch for us.
I'll bet it's pretty good.
It is always good.
Excellent.
It is always good. Yeah, their family, different years, different ones out of their family plug in. They're always there to help. It's just a fun-filled day, and we have wonderful sponsorship from the Abilene community with the businesses, and that's part of, I mean, the golf tournament is the proceeds that you get from the golf tournament with the registration doesn't hold a candle to what we get before for sponsorship.
Well, it's an amazing thing. We have so many good things going on in Abilene, but this has to be in the top tier because it's such a fun thing for such an important cause to do great work. And it's all done by these people right here in Dickinson County.
Exactly.
Can't beat that.
And the money stays in Dickinson
And the money
County.
stays right here to help people.
That's a big
Well,
Okay.
And I hate to correct that, but we go 20 miles out from Harrington.
Okay, we do. We do go out a little over county lines
Oh,
in
that's
Harrington.
okay. We're friendly to our neighbors.
It's all gray areas.
Yeah, we just, you know, the office here in Abilene, we stick with county lines, but down in Harrington, our office goes out a 20-mile.
That's true. I always forget that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got the nuts and bolts down. We're going to take a real short break, and we're going to sit down with a couple of people who have a pretty good connection to the Ed Kuntz Memorial Golf Tournament. We'll be right back.
Eagle Communications is the leader in advertising. We can put your business in front of thousands of customers during the most watched shows, including local and national sports. Let our employee owners target customers with affordable advertising in over 40 popular TV networks and online with Facebook, Google, and YouTube. From crafting your message to video production, let our team help your business grow. Call today, 785-200-6030. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Hi, Dennis Weese, back with Todd and Tammy Kuntz. They're going to tell us a little more of the family connection about the Ed Kuntz Memorial Golf Tournament. 17 years, Todd?
Yeah, it's gone fast.
Something.
Yeah.
Gone fast.
Yep, it's been a labor of love, though, that I just can't believe it's been that many years already. You know, of course, I think about my dad, you know, he's been gone that long, and it's just, it's hard to believe. It really is.
Okay, when you're not here being TV stars, what do you do? Cheesecake's the right answer.
My wife owns a restaurant and she employs me.
There you go.
Mr. K's Farmhouse.
That's good. And you serve?
A little bit of everything.
Cheesecake.
Cheesecake, steak.
Cheesecake.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. Now, it's a great place. It's a historic place
Yes,
in Abilene.
yes.
I mean, you can't say Todd and Tammy Kuntz without talking about the farmhouse. You know, that 17 years of a tournament, but the farmhouse has been the farmhouse for a long time.
Yes, it has.
So, you know, tell a little bit about your family. Your father, Ed, his name is on this tournament. Tell us about that.
My father grew up in Abilene, Kansas. He was born here in '41, but after high school, went to Indiana where he met my mom. And in the 70s, we moved back to Abilene in 1978. He always wanted to get back here. And what brought him back here was he bought the A&W restaurant from an aunt and uncle. And from that has spawned several restaurants. We owned the A&W, we owned what's M&R, used to be called Mr. K's Buckboard.
Right.
We owned Mr. K's Express on 3rd Street. And then we moved out to the Farmhouse restaurant in 1995. So we've got a long history since the 70s, almost 40 years in this town, being in the restaurant business.
So it's pretty interesting to me as a relative newcomer. I've only been in Kansas since '92 and this particular area since '98, so I'm just a newie, you know. But it's amazing to me to watch the people who have been here a while, how engaged they are still in the community. And I think that this golf tournament is an example of that. You put a lot of work into those 17 years as a family, I'm guessing.
To me, I feel like Hospice has done the work.
Okay.
At one point, we made an effort to see that Hospice got most of the credit and that we were in the backgrounds, because it's really, you know, what they do for the community. They reap the benefits of the tournament, yes, but what they do for the community is more important than anything we've done as far as the tournament goes. They are the heart and soul of all the hard work in this tournament. So.
Well, I want to tell you something, though, seeing as how we correctly put Tammy in the middle here, where she couldn't get away from the camera. So it's vital when you're doing video to link faces to a message. We just shot 10 minutes of what the Hospice is and does, and I think that's a tremendous opportunity. But it's even more important to link them to people who people may know. How many thousands of people walk into the farmhouse and see your face, probably don't know your name, but they'll see your face. And the face links back to the message. This is an important thing. We're just playing a little golf, but it's a lot bigger than that.
I agree totally. They may see her face a little more than mine because I'm usually in the back, but
well, that's probably good.
It's good to have her face out front. Yes,
try to
definitely.
keep him in the kitchen.
Can't hurt. Okay, tell me a little bit about what you expect at the tournament. I know that there's different prizes and different holes and all sorts of things like that. So tell us a little bit about the nuts and bolts.
We have lots of generous donators in the community that give whole prizes. We have 1 or 2 prizes on every hole of the tournament. Nobody goes away empty-handed.
So even poor golfers who might bring a team. Notice I wore my Eagle golf shirt today. At what hole is the cheesecake going to be given away?
I will make sure there is cheesecake there for you.
All right. Okay. Well, then I'll make sure to get a team together.
Okay.
This is on video, you know.
It is.
You just got to capture
Yeah,
that.
I know.
Right. That's right. I prefer blueberry. Just anybody want to check the story here? All right. Okay. What haven't we said? We got about 5 minutes.
Well, one thing that, I mean, just from the girls and what they said, I would like to emphasize that, you know, when we first started working with hospice, it was because we gained a knowledge of what hospice does and what they did for my father. Before my dad got sick, I knew nothing about hospice, to be honest. I knew nothing. And hospice provides free services, free care, free equipment. They brought in a bed to my father's house. They had nursing care there. And to all of our knowledge, we didn't know that this was all free services and free equipment. So that it's so important when you have someone, especially like my father, who would not have wanted to spend his last days in the hospital, that he had the opportunity to have the dignity to stay at home. And a lot of that had to do with beds and care that he received from hospice. So that's why it's very important this cause is supported every year, and that's why we're involved. We want to be able to help provide that. People just don't understand how much free care there is.
You know, I think the word hospice and what that means, it implies death, is not what you would consider a pleasant topic to take on, but it is a part of life. But I guess I want to try to segue it into what I consider such a huge component of life here in our area, and that is, what it really means is compassion. Hospice means compassion, delivered by people who care about other people and are willing to bring 65 volunteers to volunteer to show their compassion for others. The people who donate to your golf tournament are showing their compassion for the mission of home health and hospice.
I agree.
Believe it or not, a lot of people see these videos. And they reach beyond just what we think our target market is. But you know, this means Abilene is a compassionate place to live, work, and play. It's a good story.
Well, and I think part of a misconception too is that hospice is self-funding. They're not really provided funding from other areas, so everything they raise themselves is what pays people's salaries and pays for equipment and stuff. So that's why it's really important. And I think so far we've raised, we believe, somewhere around $100,000 over the period of our existence with them.
Yeah,
so.
Well done, well done. Well, that's a terrific story. I'm looking forward to June 17, right?
Yes.
And we'll put a team together and get out there and compete for second to last place.
That's
Try
fine.
hard to win it.
And I'll bring the cheesecake.
That's right. I'll probably hit a hole-in-one on that hole. It's just got to happen.
That's
Todd.
good. Thanks to
Just
Tim
gotta
Holm, you
happen.
might win a car.
You might win a car. It'll be on the next one. As long as the cheesecake's on my hole,
Okay.
that'll work for me.
All right.
Well, I want to thank you for putting your faces on camera and giving people who don't know your name before they watch this program a chance to say thanks. Hi, how are you? You know, saw you on TV. Thanks to the home health and hospice folks who sat with us on camera today. And now we're looking for 16 teams that want to play golf and businesses that want to donate prizes and people who want to share compassion with the world called Debbie. Sound like a plan?
Yes,
Sounds
thank
good.
you.
All right. I'm Dennis Weese. I work for Eagle Communications. These are the Kuntz family. That's home health and hospice you saw a little earlier, and they work for all of us to make life great here in Abilene, Kansas.